Okay, today we will learn about the equations, how we will manage the equations in the Latex. Take a cup of tea and enjoy. For this, you have to install two packages, which are Latex and TextStudio. So by opening the TextStudio, which is basically used for writing the Latex, and this is the Latex code on the left side, and you can see these codes have some equations. And here on the right side you can see the PDF copy of the Latex, which are written in this code. And in this PDF you can see different equations, and these are examples for you. So we will start with the new one. Let's start by opening a new, but you can also create a new from the template. And here in the article, this is the example or template article, which can be used for writing the Latex. Here you can see the basic architecture of the Latex, in which you have to give some document class and title of the article, authors, and from here to here you can give different sections, like this section, and abstract is also available. Here in the section you can give the first heading like simple equation. So start simple equation, and by simple equation mean that you have to provide dollar signs, and in between the dollar signs you can give some equation like E is equal to MC, and for superscript you have to use caret. And now we have written the equation. This is so simple, but later on we will discuss some complex equations as well. So after writing this, we are going to compile and run. After taking some time, you can see here that the section header, simple equations, along with the equation is given here. It is a bit different from the text, in which you have to give like this, and the MC square is a little bit different. So if I am talking about inline equations, like you want to give the equations in the sentence, I'm writing here the example sentence. The equation E is equal to MC and square is a beautiful equation. So a single dollar sign provides us a capability in which the equation can be written in the sentence. So this is the equation E is equal to MC square is a beautiful equation. So how we will write it if we want to give it in new line? So we will write it with double dollar signs. E is equal to MC square double dollar sign on the both ends. So we are taking $2 signs on both ends, whereas if you want to give this equation in the inline or in sentence, then you have to give a single dollar on both sides of the equation. So now let's build and view. Here you can see that the equation is in the new way. Even if you have written some sentence around it, even then the equation is in new line. this is the sentence on which we are giving the double dollar sign. So it's very easy. But here you can see that we cannot get some numbers for the equations. So how to number the equation? So for that we will take another environment, which is begin equation, and as you can see that begin equation is ended with the end equation. So in between them you have to write the equation, which is MC and square. Here you can leave the double dollar signs or single dollar signs because it is a dedicated environment for the equation. Here you can see the same equation but with the number. So whenever you want to refer this equation, you have to label the equation. So if I want to refer this equation in a sentence, like I want to write this in equation number, so I have to give the label to this equation. So in this way you will label the equation. You can write here equation of Einstein, and here you have to write ref, curly braces on, and equation. It is already written. So in this way you can get the equation number in the sentence. Here you can see equation number 1. Here I am writing the reference, and here I am writing the label in this environment. So in this way we are writing the equation, but this is not the matter that this simple equation can be written. So how we will write an equation which have multiple instances? Long equation is. So how we will break down it? Let's see. So in the long equation we have to use a new package, write use package, and in curly braces you have to write AMS math. I have already installed this package, and if you do not have this package on your computer, then you can only build and view, and it will automatically install this package for you. After writing about the package or taking the reference of it, we can use a new environment, which is begin multi-line, and in this you can take some equation like x is equal to x square underscore, and underscore is basically used for subscripting the number. You can write x underscore 1 and it will take the 1 as a subscript, and if you are using the hat with 2, then it will become a subscript. So x1 into how it will look like. Let's see. It will look like this. Okay, so this is not the complete equation. You can complete it by taking this reference again and again. This is the example equation. I want to make it a bit longer so that we can show you the multi-line equation. So in this way I have made a long equation, and I want to chop it down from this end or this end into a new line. Then I have to give double backslashes. Double backslashes will make a new line of the equation, and we can cut it down into the and you can see here the number 2 equation is this one, which is a bit lengthy one, and if we get a stars at the end of the multi-line, both in the begin and the end, then it will not show the numbers. You can give the equation without numbers if you do not have to refer it in the sentences or some para. So after that, in other instances, the aligning of the equations, aligning several equations here you have to use the environment of begin, align, and after entering it will give us the end align automatically, and we have to write the equation in between the align. This environment has also produced the equations, but it is a bit different that several equations can be aligned with each other. So we will write some example equation. 2x minus 5 is equal to 3y. Suppose this is the equation, and the second one is 3x minus 5 plus is equal to 4y. Suppose these are two equations which are needed to be aligned with each other. So in this one, I want to take equal to sign as a reference for aligning both of these equations. So what will I do? I will insert the ampersand, because this is the reference in both equations, and after first equation I have to give double backslashes, and double backslashes will produce a new line for the new equation which is given here. So let's see what is produced after building. So you can see here that both of these equations are numbered, along with they are both aligned with each other at the equal to sign. If we make it with the star, begin and end, then the numbers will be vanished. Okay. So next is grouping and centering of the equations. Grouping and centering of the equations. So in this we will use another environment of gather. In this gathering, we will take the same equations which are given here, but among these equations we need to delete the ampersand. We have to write the equations as it is or without any ampersands. So here you can see the same thing, which is like this, but if I make it a bit longer, like 3a, just should be a bit different, plus 6z, then you can see the difference in both of them. It is making the grouping and centering the equations with each other. But if we take this equation here in the align environment, and the reference in the ampersand, see that it will align the equal to sign with each other and make the reference, and the rest of the equations are different. So this is the difference between the gather environment and align environment. So another thing which comes in is spacing between the equations, spacing between the variables or between the equations. So we will use Q quad, backslash and comma, backslash colon, backslash semicolon, backslash exclamation mark. We use different spacing schemes which are given by one of these symbols, or quad and QQ quad. You can even give a single backslash for spacing. Let's try all of them one by one. So let's see by using this version, and here I want to give a space between 3 and y, so I will use a single backslash. And here you can see a space between 3 and y, and if I make a space by pressing the space bar, then even you cannot see the difference between the spaces generated by the space bar and without it. So you can use single backslash after 3 and separate it down from the y. Here's the space, and if you write comma with it, then it is a bit space, but not that much. Colon, not that much. Semicolon, not that much. And if I write quad, large distance can be seen. And after QQ quad, a bit larger distance, then the quad is can be seen. Okay, so these are all the spacings. So you can use different fonts for the mathematical environmental equations, different fonts for equations, and for this we will need the same environment as an example, and if I give math normal and take the equation from here and do these curly braces, then these will be presented by the default font of the default font. So you can see font for tools. That's why you see this equation. And if we take the same equation again and again to show different fonts, we want math N, math RM, It is a bit different from the earlier one. The next is the SF. You can see the difference. Game is Math GT. This is a bit different from the early ones. For example, BF. Then it will give us this kind of equation. So all of these are different from each other, and you can use anyone on your preferences. Okay, now we want to have some complex equations because we cannot remember all of these. So how I will write it? Complex equation so we have to go to the Chrome or Firefox and write about the equations, write Latex, online, some kind of these words, and you can see here different websites. Let's open 2 or 3. This is codegogs.com, and this one is Latex for Techniques. Let's see how we can use these ones for our equations. Codegogs is open now, and here you can see different buttons. If you go to different buttons, then you can see different options for the equations. Let's take one of this, and here you can see the compiled form of this equation, and there you can write different things here, like on a daily basis with the partial, you can write F. Here the F can be seen, and alongside of the partial, F can be seen here. So make it a bit complex again. So now I want to take this thing, so I will take 3 by 3, and here you can see this is one of the thing in the columns, and same can be given for all of these. The thing is that the AND is making the column, and double backslashes are making the new lines. So C is one column, and D is in one column, and E is another. F, G, H. So this type of equation can be taken down from here, copy it, paste it, and you can see the equation here. And if I make it a bit correct, I have to give it in the environment of equation. Let's see. So the process is executed normally, and this is the equation. So within the equation you have to give the command for the equation, and you can make several different equations from here. You can even give the arrows. You can see the right arrow, and you can give this type of a thing in which you have to fill the curly braces. Oh, so it's very easy. If you know about the thing that you have to fill the curly braces with some variable, so you can make several equations from here. These are a bit complex, but can be easy. So that's all, guys, and I hope you know about the Latex. Bye bye.